This tutorial is designed to help you to create a contact sheet using Adobe Bridge. So a contact sheet is just a page basically with lots of thumbnail images on it of varying sizes and created in various ways. So if you need to create a contact sheet, so put multiple images into a document in a uniformed fashion, this tutorial is for you. As always, if I need some help, I can go to TAFE-TasmaniaCreativeArts.com and I can choose to either find the handout I'm after or the information I need in the main part of the website, or I can go down the menu down this side here, and I think for this one I might choose create a contact sheet just here. This opens up a page that's called create a contact sheet in Adobe Bridge, and there's kind of a shortcut of this is the text from the handout without any images, so if that makes sense to you, you can follow along there, or you can scroll down and you can watch a video tutorial, or you can even click and open the handout. This handout, once it's loaded, is 2 pages long, so we've got one page here and we scroll down to a second page which is just loaded there. And this handout can be printed, it can be viewed, it can be saved, it can be exported, all sorts of options just up here in the corner. You can make it bigger and smaller in the middle depending on your browser. Sometimes this bit, the bigger and smaller bit, is down the bottom depending which browser you're in, and you can navigate to your different pages up here. Anyway, I'll pop it over here so I can read it at the same time as helping you guys. And the first thing it tells us that we need to do is open Adobe Bridge. Now, that can be a bit tricky depending on which computer you're on, whether you're on a Mac or a PC or which version of Windows you're using. Sometimes some people have Bridge automatically on their taskbar or toolbar down the bottom here. Well, I don't, which means I need to search for it. So what I need to do in Windows 8 is I need to go to the search tool, which is just by hovering in this corner here. I can click my little spyglass and I just type in Bridge. I get a few options. I've got a few different versions of it installed here. I'm going to open Adobe Bridge CS6 because I think that's probably what you are probably using. If I'm on an older version of Windows PC, I would go down to my little start button here, and using the search panel down there, I would put in the word Bridge. Now this opens up, it could open up anywhere on your computer, to be honest. It opens up in the last folder I was working on. So what I need to do is I need to click the Folders tab here, and I need to navigate to the folder that I want to create. There's a folder on my computer where I have my images, and I need to take it to that folder. So I know where that folder is, so I'm going to navigate. It's on my desktop, and it's called Demo. And inside Demo, I've got a file called Your Name, which is obviously the student's name, Admin Ceramics Personal Photography, and it's inside this folder here called Images. So I click that, and all these images open up, and the thumbnails are rendering right now. Depending how fast your computer is, that'll determine how fast that particular task occurs. Now, there's lots of things I can do in Bridge, but I'm here for a specific purpose. It's to make a contact sheet. So the first thing that I need to do, once I've told it the folder, I'm going to select a few of these images to create a contact sheet with. What I need to do now is I need to push this Output tab across the top here. So if I click that, it opens the same folder, but in a slightly different window. So all my thumbnails are now down here. That's the whole folder and all the thumbnails. And this area up here is empty. In a moment it's going to load with some of my images. And down the right hand side I get some options about outputting, which I'll go through in just a moment. So the first thing I need to do is select the images. Now I'd like to select 9 images from this spread, and just so I can see them a little clearly I might just do that, and I'll select my 9 images. So I might just, let me make my thumbnails a little smaller so you get the idea. Oops, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one. If I hold down the Control key, I can kind of individually target images, and as you see, when I click them, they're appearing up in this window as selections. Alternatively, if I needed to take, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, I could click the first, hold down the Shift key, and click the last button, and it will select everything in between those 2 clicks. I'd actually prefer to individually click these images, so I'm going to click 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move along a little bit. I'm going to get that one, this one. I think I might also get couple of these. There we go. And Tony Jones, he can come along. So we've got 9 images that I want to create into a contact sheet. This might be because my teachers asked me to submit some images that have influenced a decision that I've made in one of my projects. I don't know. Anyway, over this side I need to select my output. Now, we are only going to use the PDF gallery, so you need to make sure that button there is clicked, which will automatically create all of the options we're just about to get. Now, for template, I actually want to create my own templates. You can experiment here with creating contact sheets from templates that are pre-created, but what I'd like to do is I'd just like to not worry too much about that, and I'm just going to crack on with not worrying about what's up here. I'm going to create my own template as I go down. So first of all, I'm going to make sure I've got the right paper size. So A4, obviously in Australia, is the paper size of choice. My quality, don't worry too much about too many of these buttons if you're not sure what they mean. Quality 300 is really great for printing. Quality percentage, let's just go right up to the top. Now, as soon as I change something in this document, my template decision has changed to custom, and that's what I want to be actually. I want to customize this myself. Don't worry about any of these passwords. I do worry about what background color I'm using. So let's have a look. At the moment, if I push refresh the preview, and I need to keep continually coming back to this to let it take the decisions that I've made and redraw the contact sheet. I'll push that. It generates a PDF and it will display it for me in the middle here. So this is a 2x2 still, so it's not quite what I want because it's going to be over a few pages. I've got 9 images. So I keep working down, and here we go. In the layout, so I'll close this one. In the layout section of the options, I've got 2 columns and 2 rows. Well, I want 3 columns, and I would like 3 rows, please. So I've put those details in, and obviously once I've made a change there, I need to refresh the preview. Bang, I've got my 9 images all on one page. That's brilliant. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could have 4 columns of RT, yeah, 4 columns of 2 images. No, I have to go 3 images, won't we, to get them all in. Refresh the preview. It resizes the images to make it just the way I want to. So let's go back to 3x3 because that has it all nicely all on one page. I could play around with some of the positioning here and stuff and use auto spacing. You know, maybe that's a good thing. See if that does anything. Yeah, gives it a bit of buffering, a bit of padding around. Fantastic. So our layout's good. Inside the overlay here, I've got the choice of putting the file name in the extension. That's this bit underneath that tells me what the name of this image is. This is really meaningful if you want to trace this image back to the file name. So I'd suggest having this ticked, and you know, obviously change that however you like, but the default one's fine by me. Inside the header, I'd always add a header to any documentation I was handing into a teacher, and it would simply be my name and perhaps the assignment that I'm doing as well. And I could maybe use the opportunity of the footer to put my teacher's name and maybe the assignment. So if I refresh that preview, it's added my name up here, my teacher's name, and the assignment down here. Don't worry about playback, and I wouldn't worry too much about watermark, but this is an option that you might want to. If you had images that maybe you were sending to someone that you didn't want them to be able to manipulate or borrow, you could add a watermark and you could put something over the top. For example, let's just do one. Let's go TAF. And let's give it an opacity, which means let's make it a bit transparent, 50% transparent, and we'll say that it is white. This is all a bit high end, so don't worry if you're not following along with that bit. Let's have a little look though. See now inside each of the images here, it just says TAF. You don't need to do that, but that's just an extension, sort of an extension of what you can achieve here. Once we're done, and let's just check we've got the finished product we're after. Brilliant, no watermarks, image names, 9 images all on one page. I'll tick view PDF after saving, and I'll tick the save button. This opens up a dialog box that means that we now need to navigate to where we need to save the document. So I'm going to go inside my demo, inside my photography, inside my assignments, and I'm going to call this file assignment2, and then I'm going to pop my name in there. and I can choose to either put a hyphen in, an underscore, or just run all those words in together, as long as I'm not leaving a space or a special character. And I push save, and make sure I'm in the right place. And once I've clicked save, that will be saved into that particular folder, and we can open it. It will open automatically as a PDF because we tick the box. Here it is, and we can see that now what we've been able to do is create a single page contact sheet with 9 images. The file names are underneath the images. Our teacher's going to be really impressed, so I hope this helps.